Danny, this Saturday is Derby Day and you're likely going to have the 3 runners except in the VRC Derby. We'll talk about young Werther first because he's a fascinating runner. He obviously missed the run last Saturday, but you're pretty confident he can go a gap between runs out to the 2500.
Yeah, look, I don't think fitness will beat him, Grace. He did a lot of work over the winter with our Melbourne Cup horses. He was down on the beach with them every day, and he's as fit or fitter than horses like Vow and Declare and Russian Camelot who are going to run the Melbourne Cup. So I think he's fine to go the 2,500 metres there on Saturday against his own age in the Derby. He worked nicely there this morning. We just made a little gear adjustment, put a set of winkers on him just to help him focus a little bit better in the run.
Given the decision was to scratch on race day because of the soft 7 that we had, was it purely because of the wet track that you just weren't convinced he would handle the conditions?
A bit of that, and we didn't really want him to have a gruelling run 7 days out from his target race. So we left him in the morning when it was a soft 5, and we thought that'd be good conditions. But by the time the rain kept falling all morning, it was probably getting close to heavy 8, and 7 days out from the Derby, I didn't think that's what he really needed.
He's a horse that will be going to the Group 1, his target race at his 3rd career start. But clearly, I mean, you mentioned the work that he's done with some of your best horses during the winter. He's always been earmarked for this race and he's here in tip-top shape.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't say he's always been earmarked for it. We thought he was probably an autumn horse, but he stepped out at Geelong and went so well, and he came out of that run really well, and then ran very well here without luck. So at the start of the spring, I probably thought he'd be running in the 1,800 metre race Cup week, not the Derby, but he's thrived all spring, and he's one of those horses that's probably ready to run a strong 2,500 now.
What is it about him that makes you think that he's the ideal winning Derby prospect?
Well, he'll definitely stay, and he's got a great attitude. Like, he's a very, very relaxed horse. He spent the whole day at the Cox Plate last week. After we scratched him, he was standing quietly in the stall next to Russian Camelot, so he ponied him for the whole day, and he's just a very chilled customer, which is a really good attribute, particularly for horses that you want to stay.
That's probably the flag bearer for your trio going to the Derby, but just tell us your thoughts on Set Shui and also Kenzen and their work this morning.
Look, we think Set Shui is a definite winning chance. He was very good last time at Flemington, and in the Caulfield Classic he just got undone by a very muddling pace. He got left flat-footed when they quickened, and he was still strong over the line, and on a more even tempo here on Saturday back to Flemington out to 2,500, we think he's got a terrific chance. Kenzan, we've just put a set of blinkers on him this morning. He worked with young Werther, worked really nicely. He's a very, very fit horse, and I don't think he'll have any problems running 2,500, so he's got to be some hope as well.
In one of the other feature races, the Coolmore Stud Stakes, a fascinating runner from your stable in Flying Award, because he'll be a month and a half since we last saw him. What's been happening with him?
He pulled up a bit rough after the Guineas Prelude, just a little bit of back pain, a bit of hock and stifle, just not quite right behind, whether he's ricked something coming out of the machine, but he didn't run anywhere near his best that day. But we've had 5 weeks to sort him out. He seems really good. He trialled here last Thursday down the straight with a set of blinkers on and trialled really nicely. Look, he's definitely not a 6 furlong horse, so we're relying on pressure in the race and him coming off their backs and being strong late.
For the likes of Farnan and Wild Ruler, those sort of free-rolling, hard-going 1,200 metre horses, I suppose you're happy that they're going to be in the race?
Yeah, I think the more pressure the better. If they can make it a real test, then our guy will definitely be finding the line at the end.
A couple of Oaks contenders will line up in the Wakeful to see whether they are at the top of their game in Salto Angel and also Starrel. Both were through the Ethereal. How are they?
They're very well. They worked together this morning. They're very fit now. Salto Angel was really good without luck in the Ethereal, and Starrel probably had excuses. She came out of the machine a bit sticky and just wasn't in the right spot. So again, back to Flemington for both of them will be a big plus, and they worked really nicely this morning. We're expecting them to run really well.
And we saw on Sunday morning the video that you posted of Russian Camelot bright and happy after the Cox Plate. How is he a couple of days later, and now looking ahead to this day next week?
Look, we're very pleased with how he's come through it. Initial thoughts when he's done all that work front half of the race and really gave such a big effort, whether maybe it might take something out of him, but if anything it's improved the horse. He's very, very well in himself this morning, and we'll probably have to actually do another piece of work with him before the Cup, which I wouldn't have thought we would be doing just after I took the saddle off him in the Cox Plate. But he's super. He's had a really good build-up. He'll get to the 2 mile here next Tuesday. Hopefully we'll be able to ride him a little bit more conservative, ride him a bit like we did in Adelaide when he just gets to switch off and really find the line late in the race.